say about it. Many people ask me about the franchise belt or whatever. I don't know much about it. I'm you know, it's what I'm hearing. It allows you to stay a champion. You don't have to fight mandatories and stuff like that. And if that's the case, then I'm not interested in that. Yeah, I want the mandatory. That's what makes the sport. Guys work their way up, work hard to become number one and number two, and then become a mandatory. Why would you crown someone that eliminates all that? You don't have mandatories and different things like that. I love to be able to have a mandatory, him sitting, and the more he wait, the more he get frustrated about certain things, and then when the fight comes, you had me waiting all this time. I'm ready. You know, it's always the build up to the fight. And when you take that away, when you take certain things away from boxing, you know what I mean? You take the charisma away from it. You take the excitement away from it. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to take the excitement away from anyone. You know, I'm a dangerous fighter. I have, you know, a devastating right hand.
If you know, you know. And if you know Eddie Hearn, you already know he's trolling. However, I didn't know trolling is part of being a promoter nowadays. Now, Eddie Hearn came out stating that don't believe what Deontay Wilder says. If he could get a French fries title to avoid Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, then he would definitely do so. According to Eddie, and Eddie only. Now, Eddie believes that Deontay Wilder didn't win the AJ fight a year ago, and he claims that he wants one face, one name in the sport. However, his action proves otherwise. According to Eddie, and Eddie only. I must quote that because every baby and their mama know that it was Asia who turned down a $50 million guarantee plus 50-50 split on pay-per-view to fight at Deontay Wilder in the US. Then he sent Deontay Wilder $15 million flat, which Deontay Wilder ended up accepting to fight him in the UK for $15 million flat. And what did AJ do? He fought the Cheer Povetkin instead. So we already know Eddie is just trolling. Because Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, he just got busted for steroids. It was the WBC who dropped him from the rankings because he fought a clean fighter while he was being dirty, and Eddie Hearn allowed it to happen. They had a secret meeting and all that. That's no longer a secret. Everybody already know that. So that being said, if Deontay Wilder mandatory right now is Tyson Fury, another fighter that's ducking him, and you know Aki is not reporting, I'm out here preaching because even Deontay Wilder stated what I've been preaching from day one because I don't report, I preach. Deontay Wilder came out and stated that Tyson Fury scared. If he wanted the rematch and he believed he wants 10 rounds, then he would have definitely took on the rematch, made $40 million, then went to ESPN to get a bigger deal since he a world champion if he was able to defeat a Deontay Wilder. I said them exact words 6 months ago.
Probably one way. I mean, if it is, he ain't gonna take. It ain't gonna be nothing. He don't even want to. He don't even want this fight. Tyson Fury do not want to fight me. Don't be.
You 100% believe Tyson Fury don't want to fight?
100%. He would have been taken for it. He blamed on ESPN thing. But if you smart, you would think, get the rematch. You beat me. You become the champion. Your value go up, and that money, that whatever he's gonna get, it goes up even more when you the champ. Right now, he just faking like he's a champion or whatever.
He even changed his record. I don't know if you know the WWE thing. He said it was undefeated. You see that record?
Him and Lomachenko changed their record.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
no, privilege. Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the boxing game, you fucked up, man. We all fucked up.
So that being said, focus on Eddie Hearn and what he had to say. Like I said, Dillian Whyte is not even in the equation. And forget being in the mix because he's not even in the conversation because he can't even speak. Dillian Whyte is not even on house arrest. He's on speaking arrest. He can't even speak on why he cheated. His lawyers still fighting that case till this day. And if Dillian Whyte plead guilty for the B sample that haven't came out yet and it been 3 months already, then Eddie Hearn is also guilty because he let that pass without informing the public, without informing the fighters, and he allowed that event to take place because he cares more about his pocket than the health of the fighters or the sake of the sport. On the other hand, AJ, he got a life and death situation with Ruiz. And he stated even if he beat Ruiz, he not interested in the Deontay Wilder fight next. And to make matter worse, Deontay Wilder came out and stated he's not interested in the WBC French Fries title because he wants to fight his mandatories. And ain't no secret why. I mean, just look at what he does to his mandatories. It's a duh. He loves fighting his mandatories because he don't just knock him out. He put him in a coma. He put him on the meme. He put him on the news. And he wanted to do that to Dillian Whyte just like he wanted to do that to Brazil. And he did. So we all know what time it is with Eddie Hearn. It's trolling time. I mean, the fact that Deontay Wilder already came out and stated that he's not interested in the WBC French Fries title because that's a way to maneuver. But that's not going to stop Eddie Hearn from trolling. But I'll tell you what will stop Eddie Hearn from trolling is him telling on Canelo Alvarez, his stablemate. We all know Canelo Alvarez fights for Dazn, the same network that Eddie Hearn's work for. That being said, Canelo Alvarez requested the French Fries title to avoid a Charlo, even though he claimed that Canelo is the real champion. Charlo's not the real champion because he didn't beat Canelo Alvarez for it, even though it was Canelo Alvarez who requested it and paid 10% of his purse instead of 2% for the WBC French Fries title to avoid a Charlo. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn is going to convince you that Charlo is not the real champion. However, he's saying that Deontay Wilder is trying to avoid Dillian Whyte and AJ, a drug cheat and a person that just got knocked out, by requesting this French Fries title that Canelo Alvarez requested. I don't see Eddie Hearn calling out Canelo Alvarez for it, but he's going to call out the fighter that turned down that French Fries title and accuse him that he will request the French Fries title to avoid a drug cheat and a person that just got knocked out that been ducking Wilder for 5 years. Man, Eddie Hearn deserved the donkey of the day, and that's an understatement to say the least. I don't know why Eddie Hearn is trolling because he out here claiming that Devin Haney is the true champion because Lomachenko didn't want to fight him, right? Meanwhile, he not keeping the same energy with Canelo. We all know the reason why, but keep the same energy. Meanwhile, the fighter that's helping the sport grow, Deontay Wilder, that wants less belts, a belt that you can't even fight for, he stated he not interested in that. Why would he be interested in something that doesn't even have mandatories? You could win it, but you can't lose it. So if it's for the undisputed title, basically a fighter could become undisputed. But if the other fighter wins, he can't become undisputed because you're going to keep the French Fries title. That's why Deontay Wilder is so against it, just like new media is. Something I've been preaching from day one. So at the end of the day, let's just give Eddie Hearn the donkey of the day because he's just trolling. And he's been trolling for the past 3 years, 4 years. And since I knew Eddie Hearn, period, every time I saw him on an interview, he either trolled or contradicted himself. So that being said, I'm not going to waste my time responding to somebody that's trolling and not bringing up any facts because new media, we all about facts. So we over here to restore order and maintaining it and solving the confusion that's going on that Eddie Hearn is causing by him trolling. So that being said, check out Split Decision episode 8. Shout out to new media. Shout out to DBN. Appreciate Dante for giving me the opportunity to post on his platform. So check out Split Decision. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to these casual fans. Follow Lunatoon Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to get notified every time you post or go live and to be continued on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace, and we outie.